So I'm part of this new era pet finders community, and yeah, talking about some projects. Matthew come up with this idea of having a app that can take a picture of a bookshelf with all like DVDs and books and games, whatever, and it would read the title and then fetch prices on eBay or Amazon for that price for that items based on the title and highlights items in the picture that are selling for greater than a set dollar amount. So an app that can help people that go to like garage sales to identify items that would be profitable. That's an app that I think Gary Vaynerchuk would definitely invest in. And so I decided to give it a shot. And what I did was I went to ChatGPT and I asked it for a list of books title based on this bookshelf that I have in where I'm at right now. And the first step was good, I think, for what ChatGPT came up with. So it identified all the books or most of the books, right? And he told me that he could not identify some, and he asked me to let him know if I wanted him to take a closer look at that, and I said yes, let's go ahead. So the idea is to get this more extensive list of books, and he did that. Some of the books were not identifiable, so this is one of the first challenges for this kind of solution, which is some of the things that we're looking for might not be easy to identify. So yeah, going ahead, I asked ChatGPT to come up with the prices for those books on eBay, and he kind of found some prices, but you see it's like $32. It's rather high price, so I'm not so sure about that. So I asked ChatGPT to create this table with the names of the books and also like a link. I could check that and the price. So after that, ChatGPT came up with this entire list, and but just for like two books, right? But one thing is that he kind of generates the links, which is what I ask it, but let's test that and see how that works. First, I asked it for like this more comprehensive list, and then it kind of crashed it. So these are like kind of the challenges that we're going through when we're setting up an automation or a workflow like that. You kind of expect it that it will work every time, but not that's not always the case. So I asked it again and it came up with a new list, but as you can see, the price is different. So now it's like $7 for the first one, $8.50 for the second one, and so forth. Now it came up with like a longer list of titles and a price for every one of them. And it says like it's used. So, okay, that's kind of what we're looking for. And it has also like links for all of these titles. So not getting it right 100% of the time, but it it gave me what I asked him for. So now let's test these links to see if it works. And you know, for the first one, it didn't work. So I decided to try another one, but it also didn't work. Another one also didn't work. So it seems that ChatGPT has a challenge with sharing links. And I can understand why that happens, because since we're talking about a large language model, what happens is that it has been trained on some data, so it can maybe it's fetching links from like its memory, not necessarily from Google. So I let them know that it wasn't working and asked it to test the links and fix it. And then it said something I've had just heard from Google's AI, but now ChatGPT, which was like, I need some time to search for valid purchase links. I'll get the revised version with working links shortly. But that's a hallucination, right? They're not actually working. Um, so I said I'm waiting, and he came up with some other data, but not the links. So this is when when it's like when you fall off that track, kind of you see that the chances of it hallucinating increases. So I asked it like for one link, I tested it, still didn't work. So at this point, I'm convinced that ChatGPT is not really good for scrapping, like scrapping websites and looking for that. I think that that could be done with like using other tools like Selenium or things like that. And at that point, I was out of my limit for ChatGPT. I'm currently testing Claude, so I have switched it, and yeah. So I think that this solution is possible. This is like within what's possible right now. But the way I would do it is I would use ChatGPT or some other large language model to first identify the items. And secondly, I would base it on the item title or description, but title should work better, right? Because title is a very specific set of words that you can look for, while as a description, you would need to kind of do a visual matching of the item that we have and the item that we found. So that's like a second level. But for titles for books and games, yes, you can use like ChatGPT to identify the title and list all the titles. And then you can use maybe other tools for searching for those items on Google or something, and identifying the price based on that. So I think that the biggest challenge in this would be like structuring the data, because if you're like doing a Google search, then you can find different kind of results for different kind of websites that use different kinds of website structure. So really structuring the data should like be the main challenge of that. And but yeah, it was a good exercise. So can AI do it? Not right now, not from end to end, but the first stage, which would be kind of the bottleneck before, yes, AI can identify titles, but then you would need other tools to get this entire workflow running. So yeah, that's it. See you in the next one.